numbers, how things are looking in the last 30 years. And this is not the situation or the story of India. I just want to be very clear about it, that this is not the story of India, but this is the story of US. And why we have picked US is because the US side of the things are more, aligned to tech, and they are there before us. So 30 years back, how things were looking from the workforce representation perspective. So in 1995, 37%, almost 37% of the computing roles were belonging to women in US. Surprisingly, it came down in 2025. If you see, it's 28%. And 25% which are computing jobs. Right now, 27% of tech teams where women has representation. Not dwelling on all the numbers, they are in front of you, but leadership and influence. Now we see significant drop there, but from the numbers perspective we are talking about here, 29% of tech leadership roles are held by women. And if we go towards education and pipeline, 19% of computer science graduates are women, and 35% of global STEM students are women. So, interesting numbers, but I'm not concerned about these numbers. So, if we move to the next slide, and I've specifically kept it on one slide because this is where we need to get involved. This is what we are observing in last 30 years, what is happening. So 56% of women leave tech mid-career due to culture and lack of growth. So you all, must have seen it. Not only the women, but the men here as well. If you're in senior leadership role in your organization, you must have seen somebody joined as a fresher in your team, but was she there to be in a leadership role in your organization? Probably yes, probably not. But that's how the number looks. 56% women leave the workforce after, maybe because of the life, your milestone related to life, marriage and childcare and other stuff. And then the other number is, I don't know how should I put it, but 70% feel they must work harder to prove themselves. And this is very focused towards women. I can see some nods, I can see, that smile within you, and, some of you must be saying that, I know what you're talking about. But this is there, this is right there, and we see it day-to-day basis. But let's not talk about the challenges, let's talk about what is out there, what we are going to do, and what is happening in ISACA. So ISACA came up with this She Tech program, which is not the only program, I would say. I cannot take ISACA for the credit that this is the only thing out there. There are many communities and leaders like Neelam and Anuradha, they can relate to it, that there are many other programs that are happening across the industry, which helps, these 2 pointers wherein these numbers should reduce. So She Tech, wherein you can move to the next slide. So this is about engaging, empowering, and elevating women. So ISACA provides tools, resources, and communities which helps achieving these 3 pillars of their program. So what we are doing here in ISACA New Delhi chapter is taking these pillars and building upon it. So if we move to the next slide. So this is just a view of what we have been doing in past few years and some of the recent stories. So we are bringing women to encourage, to engage, and to elevate others as well. So we had some virtual sessions with leaders like Priya, we had Srinidhi, we had Dr. Anu, not only talking about the technical stuff, but the leadership skills also. And then there are some pictures of last year Shidi Tech when some of us, I mean, I met Anuradha for the first time during that event, and Sonali and me we met for the first time. So that was a really good event. And so Isaka Udal chapter is engaged and has right intention in this direction. Moving on to the next slide. So this is the agenda of today, and I wanted to keep it in my slide just to give you a view what we are going to do today. So today we are starting with a session from Karnika Seth. She will be here just, I think she must be there outside. But that's a keynote address, and that is going to talk about empowerment through cyber law. So how many of you even know what are the cyber laws, and specifically women? I mean, how they can, prevent themselves and protect themselves from the cyber crime that is happening out there. Then we have Aarti Sharma. She will be talking to us about realizing self-worth. And then we have technical sessions with some of the women leaders who are talking about AI security. Then Ansuya and Rupa will be taking us through a TED talk. And then a very important topic, I mean, we need to build these pillars from we need to have an early foundation. And that's where Dr. Kaukuli will, help us understand, she coming from an education background, that how the education domain can help us bring more women into cybersecurity and tech and make them successful from, early career. Then we will be having, the mix of career and personal life, how it takes, a woman, what it takes to be, successful in both the fronts. So we have Neelam, leading that along with Anuj, Swati and Bhumi and Urvashi will be taking part in that panel. And then we have, we need to build some skills, not only for women, for everybody in the cybersecurity. So we have a hackathon. So it's a packed agenda we have. So I look forward to, for all of you to participate, to engage with us. And then we don't stop today here. We have a plan going forward also. So the next slide, what I'm sharing here is a QR code to a WhatsApp group, which is for the She Lead Tech specific community. This is a woman specific community that we are going to build, and these three towers, these three pillars, we will be further strengthening them through this WhatsApp group. So we need to have more and more engagements. So, and among women. So this is specific for women. I'll be rejecting any request that will be coming from any male leaders. So please don't even try to scan. So, with that and this thought, I don't want to take all the time talking. I have my my peer here, Anuj, who is co-leading the She Tech for Sakani Daily chapter with me, and he has been the greatest support throughout. And when I stand here with Anuj, so I'm bringing that concept of allyship as well, because allyship is very important, for anybody. As they say that it takes a village to raise a child, so it's not only the concept to raise a child, but anything that you are trying to build, it's the same concept there. So Anuj, share some thoughts, what you would like to add in this. Thank you.
Thank you, Karnika, and morning everybody. My name is Anuj Tiwari, and very humbled to be here with all of you today. I think that some of you can't see me, probably should I stand here if that's there. And first of all, this program has been very well structured and led, of course, by all the board members, and Karnika has been working so tirelessly So you can see what is the real passion for a woman to recognize these challenges and not only recognize them but do something about it. So very humble to be here, and I am very humble to be having the opportunity to co-lead this along with Karnika. That said, I want to ask a very simple childhood, or probably still right now. Go ahead. My mother is superhero. Think of Marvel universe, like the superheroes in capes. Just name one. Anybody can name one.
Shaktiman.
Shaktiman, love it.
Commando group.
Commando. Nobody like Batman, Superman.
Super Commando Group.
Super Commando group, awesome. Chacha Chaudhary, all right. The man goes past the way. Nagraj, awesome. I'm loving the localization, vocal for local. What did we notice in all of these analogies?
Black Widow.
All of these, I love that. I love that, by the way. I was about to come to this point. Did you notice that all of the super, heroes that everybody mentioned were actually male figures?
Because you asked me.
Except the one that came towards the end. Why did we not think of She-Hulk or a Black Widow or a, Wonder Woman for that matter, right? And now I'm feeling so deprived of not having a local example. Everybody gave me such awesome examples. Everybody keeps talking about Supermans and the Batmans, but look, so this is a little bit of a dilemma that we really need to breach, right? There is absolutely more than enough problems in terms of representation, parity of pay. Having the seat at the board, starting from boards of the New York to the offices in Bombay. But how do we kind of get to cater to this better? I think everything starts with technology. So once we acknowledge, understand and appreciate what the difference is, why the paradigm shift is required, I think there can be more than enough actions that can be taken. So I like to always draw the parlance of a superwoman in a cape. Now what's the cape, right? We see all the superheroes wearing a cape usually. Why is there a cape if you really think about in the real sense? The cape is not to hide the superhero, right? But it usually defines what they are trying to do. For instance, a Superman has laser vision. He also has super strength. He's trying to balance that. Similarly, we see women taking care of their families, motherhood, offices, careers. And one thing that I have, by the way, in this forum I can share, I have 4 sisters. I'm the only brother. So I've been very humbled to see my mother and my sisters, and all 4 of my sisters are working in some or the other facets, government, private, whatnot. So I had the opportunity to very closely watch a lot of women balance all of these, both as a brother, sometimes as a husband, sometimes as a father and whatnot. So when you really look at some of these angles, you realize what beautiful and different capes women wear. And one challenge that I think, again, it's all about acknowledgement, right? It's all about understanding and thinking from that lens. Because now that we have that lens, tomorrow we will think about it in our team meetings, we will think about it when we are doing our peer reviews, cycles, and just when we are thinking of working hours and things as simple as that. But we've got to be a little more affirmative about it. So imagine asking one of the male members to stay back late. Now imagine the problem a female colleague may have in doing something as similar. Because again, she's juggling through all these roles like I talked about. So I think one, we've got to be a lot more empathetic. We've got to create more inclusion. Of course, Garima talked about a lot of numbers and lovely statistics. I'm not so good at that. But essentially, the whole call to action today is come forward, be inclusive. Think of the women who have broken barriers, right? Think of women like, always I think of Mary Kom from India, right? Coming from such a humble background, breaking barriers and outshining. Think of Serena Williams. I have personally been really inspired by Serena Williams. By the way, there was an amazing women movie called King Richards. If anybody has seen it, if not, amazing, watch her journey. It also is about her father and how she got the support. So I think, like it is said, that there is always a woman behind every successful man. I can tell you I'm one, and I've been blessed to have 5 of them with my 4 sisters. That said, there has to be an equal balance, and I think this is the challenge more for men than women. That men have to stand behind every woman to make them successful. So we have to draw that balance, we have to draw it, we have to recognize the hard amount of work that women do. And one thing I have always heard when I have been leading large team of women is that there is a little bit of an expectation from women to excel in every area. right? A woman is expected to be a great mother, a great employee, a great daughter-in-law and whatnot. It is so many pressures, right? Do men have a little bit of unfair advantage in not having to be similar in all of those roles? Probably a little bit. I have had those unfair advantages being a son, being a husband. I've always felt best. So we've got to be as generous as women. And this message is not so much for women. Karima did a great job there. This message is more for the men. I know all of you are doing it. I'm trying to be very humble by saying it, but essentially we just got to be cautious. We've got to be aware, and let's move forward. So thank you for being here. With that, Karima, I'm going to hand over to you as the masters of the ceremony, and we can start the next session.
Thank you so much, Anuj. And we have, our next speaker with us. Karnika Seth. She is the expert in the cyber law area, and I cannot, do justice to what she does. So I'll let her talk about it. But let's start her session. We are very privileged to have you here, ma'am. And we are eager to hear from you. So thanks so much, ma'am, for being here with us today.
So very good morning to all of you. It's a matter of, I think, great pride when we talk about women empowerment. I come from the legal fraternity, and thanks to Rajiv ji and Karima ji for having invited me to address this, conference today. She leads tech. That's no doubt the case, because we have a lot of women leaders today, and we are encouraging more to join our, fraternity, because when we say community of cybersecurity professionals, then by far, India has actually shown a very promising trend of late. And I also head the G100, women leaders group, which is across the world. And there we do a lot of AI, cyber tech, and we actually create a lot of software where we see that, AI could help in responsible use of AI could be propagated. And we have a lot of new, I would say, implementation of new technologies into healthcare, smart cities, and also agriculture to a great extent, the India AI mission. So we're kind of partnering in the sense that we're all advocating for this cause internationally. And yes, at national forums, we have a huge role to play here. So that is the reason I always start on this note that women have a great contribution in society. And it can't be undermined, because we not only create families, we also have our contribution in the professional world, how we build our communities together, and now globally, how we stand together for important causes, be it environment, be it technology, and therefore it's important to say that when we are talking about ISACA's She Leads Tech, today we'll be talking about in the keynote about the empowerment through cyber law education. Because you will agree with me, without having a digital access, we cannot, even in our rural India or our urban India for that matter, we have to bridge the divide, first of all, in the national capital or otherwise in the nation as a whole. And we see the metropolitan cities have already got that access, granted to women. But in rural areas and remote sites, we have seen that there is no digital inclusion, or there is very little digital inclusion. Okay, thank you. So, therefore, first thing is the right of access. I've spoken at various forums. We were talking at UNICEF or other, UNESCO and other forums where we talk about the access. So access is a very bare minimum right. After the access comes, how you're using and how safe the cyberspace is, because ultimately whatever you're doing on cyberspace, there will be trolling, there will be doxing, there will be a lot of n number of cybercrime issues. And it's not just for women, children are targeted, senior citizens are targeted, and I deal with these real life cases, and I'll tell you a few of them. Therefore, it's important to not only give them a safe environment, an ecosystem to function, but also look at how we can leverage technology today to create efficiencies of scale across various industries and globally as well. So through this platform today, let's talk about empowerment through cyber law education. So unless we know our rights, what are the women rights, on cybercrime? I was asked by the Ministry of IT. I advised the Ministry of IT and the Ministry of Defense. And there we were on Women's Day. We were thinking, how do we contribute? So we created a nice booklet which was talking about women, protection of women online. And I was thinking of what caption should I give, what title should I give to it. And I first wrote cyber crimes against women. I struck that title out and I wrote cyber rights, of women. Yeah. So this was as a woman myself authoring that book. I was, it was just the voice which comes from within you. Why we talk about protection? We don't have to, feel the weaker lot. There is a narrative going on which we have to dislodge and build a new narrative that we are empowered not only offline, it's also in the cyberspace, right? So cyber rights against, any kind of cybercrime of women, right? Okay, so as I said, I set the background now. So the technology is inherent part of us. Whether we are now is talking about smart TVs or you using smart, television at home, we are increasingly using smart health apps also today. And so the key focus today, when we talk about, empowerment, will be not only on the key statistics or what is the general analysis across, United Nations. We have also made contributions. I was fortunate to also give my feedback on that. And then educational strategies, how the government is uplifting and creating some new, I would say, schemes, and how the government is promoting initiatives in this space and creating digital literacy and women rights against cybercrime are also being emphasized. And what should be the best practices for cyber safety? So it's going to be around this theme. So if you look at the current statistics, the recent data is revealed by Economic Times. It's projecting that the women constitute only 17 to 20% of India's cyber security workforce. So if you can see the figures, we really need to get up and bring more women together and work for this cause, right? Now, if you look at Australia, for example, it leads with 25% women in cybersecurity, while the Asia-Pacific region is only about 30% women. It's just entering the industry. Now, cybersecurity is a subset of maybe technology as a whole because there are BPOs, there are n number of IT jobs which are prevalent today. And the NASSCOM reveals a trend of women representation of 28% in the AI role specifically. We have a Bhashini, project going on. That how different regional languages are being, through AI, the translation is possible into various vernacular languages and from vernacular to English or other languages. So that is also happening. And there are other reports which project that 89.8% women possess adequate digital literacy in certain areas compared to 94.7% of men. So now there are disparities within the population which is digitally, I would say savvy. Then women's digital literacy needs to be stepped up in those areas. In rural areas, only 30% women have even internet access, regular access. So this is a gender gap, and UN did a study on this digital inclusion. And what are the interesting insights? It basically highlighted that there should be more digital infrastructure. So we need more infrastructure and affordability, right? So now, in order to bring that, public infrastructure should be created. More number of women to have access, more digital, startup ecosystems and digital entrepreneurship, digital skills to be enhanced. Now, these are certain markers But if we look at these, we are already implementing all this in India at a very quite a fast pace. Now, if we also see the way in which we used to be known as back offices or software creation centers, but that's not the case anymore. We are making standards for the world. We are leading in technology, and therefore there are a plethora number of jobs. There are different kinds of profiles and jobs. I won't delve too much into recommendations, but what was even recommended at the UN level is more policy integration. So where does India stand? We have 3 new criminal bills which are being enacted, so new laws are being created. We have a POCSO law to protect children. We just had last few days back an online gaming law, right? So those banned the money-based web, those online games which were actually becoming a haven for cyber criminals and attacking children. So we're on a very fast track in this space. And capacity building initiatives, last 25 years, I've been into capacity building with the government, training law enforcement officers. Last week I trained a batch of 150 CBI officials. We have judicial officers trainings. We have at Labasna trained IS officers. And there are n number of educational institutions where we go and speak to the faculties, to the academia, and to students. So this is going at a very fast pace there, even at the capacity building level. Then comes creating safe spaces, so we reform the law. We make new laws where it's necessary. And with my team, for example, Minister of IT, we've done a lot of overhaul, bringing more social media accountability into the ecosystem and multi-stakeholder engagement, because whenever new laws are to be created, we've had roundtables with the Minister for DIA, which is a Digital India Act which is being created, which will completely replace the Information Technology Act in the country. So that's a prime legislation, special law. We've had multiple, debates even in the Quad countries. For example, I would say Quad country, roundtable just again last week. We were talking about how India can put a footprint in the world and what are the areas of international cooperation and digital inclusion and other areas. So this is an all-round work which is ongoing, and this gender gap can be bridged very fast. So we have now, we also talked to the Cyber Security Coordinator of India, where we are trying to bring in more focus in the national cyber security policy, which is being called out, to have a special emphasis on women's rights there also, and even children's rights to be there. Educational reforms, I work very closely with the NCRT also, educating children and faculty there on what are the do's and don'ts on cyber safety and other practices. So we're doing educational reform there as well. Lots of funding given by the government on various quarters. Legal framework is being enhanced, and therefore there are n number of initiatives. I'll just scroll through very quickly. We have a Cyber Rakshak program, which is launched by the collaboration of Ministry of IT again with another stakeholder, and their trainings are being conducted across various districts. And cyber trainings, Cyber Shiksha program is a private initiative of Microsoft and DSCI. We see Digital Shakti, that is Pan-India Cyber Security Awareness Program again by the government, the National Commission for Women. Again, we've spoken at this forum a lot because whatever policy measures need to be carried out, they go through the association. It can't be a single person effort, but what we try to do is give them inputs and suggestions in their roundtables, and they take it forward to get the law passed. Then there is Pradhan Mantri Gramin Digital Saksharta Abhiyan. There are so many other, I'm sure there are n number of them, but some of the main ones we just listed. Hub for Empowerment of Women. This is under the Mission Shakti umbrella scheme. So here all of them are aimed at giving women more digital literacy access, as well as encouraging them in innovation, research, development. So they want to go for further studies, Kiran scheme. So they want to even read further, maybe a PhD or a STEM program. They want to do some course. This kind of encouragement is already there through the funding initiatives. cybercrime prevention against women and children. There's this particular book was released by the Ministry of Home Affairs, and likewise I did one for cyber rights of women. So that is also released already. So there are a number of resources which are there on digital literacy, and She-Box portal is also there for reporting of any kind of any kind of harassment, sexual harassment complaints by women in case there have been any kind of grievances. Certain has again a Mahila Suraksha handbook. There are a number of initiatives there. Safer Day initiative by MIT have collaborated on that front again. I'm part of the Digital India Mission, Digital Empowerment Mission, Viksit Bharat Mission, and so many other projects that I can vouch for it. There's a lot of work already going on in this regard. This is one of the programs which we did, and we keep doing this every month for various departments in the ministries. Cyber Jagrukta Divas. Okay, so this is again an awareness program. Now these are some handbooks and books which have been authored by me. If you're really interested to know about cyber safety in various dimensions, feel free to go through them. They're all on Amazon Books, and it's an easy read. Not a difficult technical read for anybody who's non-technical, non-legal as well. So now, this brings me to the point where we're talking about women's rights against cybercrime. So, what is the kind of cybercrime that is prevalent today? If I give you a nutshell, I'll just tell you the first case which I handled when a woman was being attacked in cyberspace. Way back, it was like probably early 2000s, where a woman from India, but she was residing in US. She had a grievance. She said that I've been told, and a lot of websites about me are being put on various, I would say posts, defamatory posts, private posts of mine, are being put by somebody who I know who the person is, but I don't know how to sue him. He's from another country, and he was my ex-friend. So it's like a revenge pornography, you can say, or you can say their photographs are going viral or videos are being, put in by him. When we looked at those websites and we examined them, they were from a particular person only, and the registrars of those websites, we contacted them. And we said that as per the legal notice which we served on them, they have to remove it in 24 hours time. So there is a very interesting web service. If you'd like to know who a particular owner of a website is, you can go to whois.net, and then you find the details there. So then what happened was that ultimately when the registrar received this notice, they took it down in close to 36 hours time window. And that was a phenomenal achievement for that lady, because she didn't have to travel all the way back here, and she got her legal recourse without having to go to court. So these are the kind of challenges which anybody is facing today, and especially women are being targeted. We have sought, even for some celebrities, the injunction orders from the court, whereby certain websites which are based not within India, but they were based from out of India, those have been taken down. Those pages have been taken down, and that's why now the law is very, very, I would say, proactive in protecting women's rights, because there is a very clear accountability for social media platforms which has been put. So that's a good sign, and therefore we are able to achieve a lot of redress. So then comes other problems like cyber stalking, trolling. We have seen deepfakes, how Rashmika Mandana's case, how she was attacked also and targeted. So these are all real life instances. And when we see distribution paradigm, what is a distribution? Then there is a lot of cybercrime, especially in Telangana, Karnataka, UP, and other states like Maharashtra. So there are a number of issues which are being discussed every day, and digital frauds is by far one of the recent ones which has kind of attacked the country and the landscape. School teachers being cheated, or these are some instances of I think they've lost more than crores in digital fraud. If you ask me, last 3 years it has increased three times. So initial 2022 we had a loss of 100 crores. This year or last year we've had a loss of 2,000 crores, more than that. Sometimes I see the statistics, they're very glaring. So, sextortion, that was the first case which I just talked to you about. That woman was actually on the verge of committing a suicide when she called us and she said, I have no hope left for any kind of legal recourse. And we told her to, just take it easy and give us at least 3 days. And then when she realized that she had received that, recourse, she was obviously placated to a great extent, and she was like, she had faith again in the judicial system and the way our country has its laws. So, image-based abuse is there, doxing, then cyberbullying, online stalking, impersonation, hate speech, extremism. So, a lot of women, I was talking at a Bombay Chamber of Commerce, and one of the, all these matrimonial websites which have led to, again, a lot of chaos in society, because online dating apps, online, like teenagers are using, or even anyone in fact is using today, a lot of cybercrime through them. Social engineering tactics are being used by cyber criminals to take away, personal sensitive information and then blackmail. So I've also handled those cases where teenagers have been involved, some fake profile cases, some cases where hacking has happened through keyloggers, and they will take away the personal pictures, or they will cause some sort of harassment to the person. So these are all common day, everyday scenario now. So now it's important, even internationally, we're looking at homogenizing the definitions of what these offenses mean. So not only nationally, we're also looking at how one can create more international cooperation, because increasingly these crimes are cross-border. So for example, at various forums where, with Kerala police we were cracking on, say, a trafficking case, online trafficking case, there are money laundering cases, there are cyber terrorist cases, and through social media, engineering. So a lot of times we've seen these are cross-border, and we haven't signed a cybercrime convention yet. We are working at the UN level for the same. So these are some of the case studies Ravana just explained to you. Fake profiles, even, I have also come across interesting cases where the woman has said that my husband has put a fake profile of his on an online matrimonial site. It has happened. And there have been cases of cheating, there have been cases of fraud, some ex-friend putting something online, and there are many times attacks through social media, or they'll create morphed pictures, morphed videos. I've also examined those kind of cases where those have been absolutely morphed through AI or otherwise. So now, what can be done, obviously, is what we'll be talking about in the last leg of this presentation. But if one sees, a lot of it can be prevented through our own vigilance. We shouldn't obviously be clicking on anything we find suspicious. That's number one. We shouldn't be posting what one shouldn't be. So what happened in one of the cases, a parent posted some pictures of the child which were personal. It shouldn't have been on social media in the first place. And later when those were mocked and sold online, obviously there was a huge problem. So we had to, do a lot of, I would say, legal work around to get solutions there. But it's better to have, like, precaution, as we say, is always better than cure. Digital arrest, obviously, every day there is some issue or the other. 10 cases every day talking about how somebody has contacted us, and initially it was only to say pay a bill which we thought was due, and then our electricity meter will be cut, or we are getting a free job online and we'll be paid heavily, and then landed up to realize this has been a digital arrest scam. So much so that one inspector's, face was mocked, and in a WhatsApp call or some other, video IP-based call, you could actually see that a police inspector, who I know personally and is a genuine inspector, his picture was superimposed on somebody else, and it was like as if he's talking. Because I've seen it happen, and it was something that one would be, it's really difficult for a layman to understand this is not the real person talking. So, and they created a fake police station. And every morning in my desk, I see 10 cases which have fake logos of police officers and saying, even our close relatives or close friend circle or even the client from word of mouth, like somebody comes to know, they send us few queries like, help us. And whether this is real or not, first thing we do is we check the logo. And then we check where it is coming from. It will not come from a personal email ID of a police inspector if he's calling you for an investigation. So these are everyday scenarios. And so we could come at what is the law. In a basic, like 3 sentences, I can tell you, a lot of these offences are punishable with up to 3 years of imprisonment, fine or more, under the IT Act. And hidden webcams, cases which come with obscene material online, cheating by personation, all of them, they're all punishable offences under the IT Act, and also the BNS, which is the latest law we have in the country on criminal practice. And sexual harassment or extortion or video voyeurism, all of them, they're all punishable with up to 3 years of imprisonment, fine or more, in many cases, cognizable, non-payable in many cases. And whether it's stalking or defamation, the best thing which I can explain right now is that for legal recourse, if you want to understand in short, not only a criminal proceeding goes along, but you can also file for defamation and take damages and injunction orders from the court. Our courts are very proactive. So in one of our cases, they gave a damage injunction order, which means, for example, a same clip is uploaded from 10 locations or 15 locations, one single order against the defendant. We call it as Ashok Kumar or John Doe orders. And single case, that clip in 15-20 locations can be removed. Plus new clips, the same clip uploaded on new sites again can be taken down through the same order. You don't have to file a new case every time this is uploaded in a new social media portal. Right? So that's how we have tried to resolve this. So that in this slide basically gives an overview of what are the key institutions. So the moment there is a crime case, for example, hacking has taken place from abroad but into India, we have to inform certain, or even within India, if there is a cyber fraud, we inform certain. We also inform in the Ministry of Home, there is a I4C center and there is a National Cybercrime Reporting Portal, which is cybercrime.gov.in. There's a helpline 1930. We always report crime here. So there are different divisions like Ministry of IT, MHA. We have the cybersecurity coordinator for any national attacks and other instances which we can report to various authorities. There are n number of case law, but the most important one which I should share with you is right to privacy has been upheld as a fundamental right in the case but put us on peace. So our privacy is our prerogative and we have to protect it, and that's what in that case was held. Then there have been cases like Just Rights for Children Alliance where even viewing of child pornography or storing of child pornography was held to be an offense under our Indian law. So it's not just browsing or going on a particular site or publishing, which is illegal, but even storing or viewing it is illegal. That was held in this case. Then there was another case, Mrs. X versus Union of India. Why we write Mrs. X? We protect, we redact information. And I must tell you, there is a new law in the country which is DPDP, Digital Privacy Law, like Personal Data Protection Bill. So nobody, can collect information more than necessary without your express consent. For example, you are downloading a food app. You do that every single day. There's something that you're downloading. It has terms and conditions. It has various things there. Now, if they ask you for your video gallery access, your photo gallery access, obviously you could deny it. And I always go onto a website and I choose only necessary cookies. I don't want my information to go anywhere where I am. Why should we track? I go to a store and buy clothes. They ask me, okay, we'll send you the bill on your phone. Give us your phone number. And I refuse. I said, I'm sorry. I don't want to give my number. So that's how you can exercise your rights in the current scenario with DPDP law also. And it will soon come into force. In this case, again, an injunction order was given against pictures going viral by the court. And they give certain directions of how the dissemination reporting has to be done, or how legal action, role of police in taking down such content, and helpline support and other, support. So courts have also been giving various takedown orders. Search engines have to act on even keywords which are being used. So in the niche Bajaj case, the DPS MMS case, right, the first case was in India. From then on to now, it's a long journey. So our courts are very proactive, even in helping, giving more teeth to law, basically. So what, in the end, we will just cover a few pointers, what you must do. Before I even start with this, I have a very interesting tip which I always give. On my phone, I use Google Pay. You must be also using some payment wallet. Never link it with your own saving account which has got a huge balance in it, the main balance in it. We always create a separate account which has a 10,000, 15,000 balance only for making those small payments to vendors. It's been a boon, really. It's been a lot of peace of mind. You can adopt the same technique. Now comes account authentication. Obviously, we have to keep changing our passwords, have two-step verification as a norm. Desktop security, one used earlier only antivirus, but most companies have now taken more features in their software like anti-spyware. After Pegasus, everybody is scared, right? If politicians can be tracked, so can you. So let's be more vigilant. And then mobile security, obviously we also have mobile apps, and there are, from Norton to so many quickly, or there are so many other companies offering these services. Some browsers also have in their settings these security features. Firewalls are there, even if you're using Android phones or you're using a desktop which is not Apple. Even Apple has good security, we all understand. But most of the browsers and systems already have firewalls in them. So safe surfing, while you're on the airport, you're traveling, whenever we are connecting to public Wi-Fi, we have to be vigilant in hotels, for example. Try and avoid doing a financial transaction using public Wi-Fi. Staying safe from scams, being very vigilant what you post, what you click, and password management, that's definitely there. Now we're at ISACA today, and we know they offer a lot of courses. Now these courses are not, or in fact any other institute, if they're offering courses on cyber security, they're only enhancing one's digital literacy. Government, we have had occasion to work on MOOC, free courses online, EDX. There's so many other platforms. But ISACA, if you're really going to go into professionally, then yes, these courses. Apart from that, national law universities, they offer very nice diploma programs, and I'm also affiliated with most institutions like universities, be it the IIMs or IITs, or be it the National Law University Gujarat or even Delhi, all other prime institutions, symbiosis. So here you get a lot of digital awareness through those short courses and programs, or maybe a detailed one if you're going in professionally. This is a YouTube channel you can actually subscribe to, that's created by us. All our discussions, whether it is on television or on any topics which we speak at forums, when it's recorded, we also put it online for the benefit of everyone. And you can also subscribe to the Cyber Law India channel. I think with that, I just want to sum up our discussion today. And what I'd like to say is that so our safety lies in our own hands. It's just us. We can protect ourselves best. While we go on, we actually give the steer wheel to our children only when they turn 18. But today we already give gadgets to them when they're 8, 9 or even younger without telling them how to navigate this whole space full of dangers. It's like giving them a vehicle to drive on the road without knowing how the traffic rules have to be abided. So in that kind of a scenario where we're responsible for ourselves and to protect our loved ones, it's important to be vigilant. It's important to adopt the same cyber safety measures or rather safety measures as we adopt in the offline world. Especially, you should be careful more on the in the cyberspace because you're not on guard all the time. Your guard is low, and you don't know the person who is asking you for a friend request, whether it is the person who is he's or she is projecting to be, and therefore those profile pics can be stolen, anything can be mocked. So it's better to be cautious, especially because it's anonymous world. I don't say that we can't detect cyber criminals and where from they are attacking, but it becomes circuitous at times because there are VPN. There is abuse of technology also. It's a good thing. VPN protects your identity, but there are onion routing. And I am also an advisor to NIA, which is the National Investigation Authority, where we deal in cybercrime and we do capacity building there. We've seen software. A music file was sent to somebody, and that music file was not a music file. If you went into the properties, it was actually something which was related to a terrorist activity. You don't know if your phone is compromised. There are sites, your passwords get compromised. igotporn.com, PAWNEE, right? There are many number of websites where you can actually find out more whether actually it's been compromised, but it's always better to keep changing the passwords with multi-factor authentications. So in this manner, what I'm trying to finally say is just be cautious, more cautious in the online world than you're in the offline world. That's my advice to you. All the best, and I'm looking forward to having more interactions with you.
Thank you so much for this wonderful session and helping us to know the laws and everything. We can't just small talk of
Well, thank you, Karnika, for coming. I know her for more than 10 years, and I see her knowledge has really gone up exponentially. 10 years back, she said, Rajiv, I need to learn on IT. I'm a lawyer, but I don't know much of IT, but today I feel she knows more IT than me.
I always say that no matter how much you know, you always remain a student of law. Thing is, I recently served as a judge at the International Social Media Tribunal in Berlin, and we looked at human rights violations in the cyberspace, and I was fortunate to sit with a former US District Court judge and the Minister for Justice for Germany. And I realized how their perspectives matter and how we can, follow suit and what we must do also in India. And there were some takeaways for them also likewise. We were much ahead in terms of law and POSCO and other order line protection. And when I told them about India and how India is doing, they were also surprised. So there is always a mutual exchange of knowledge there. And any forum you go to, whether it is this forum or that forum, I always feel that I'm a learner and I need to learn more. So I haven't changed that sentiment.
Thank you so much, Karnika ma'am. So with that, we have another very interesting session with us. We have Aarti with us to take us to journey to ourselves, she is going to tell us how to realize our self-worth. So, welcome Aarti. Stage is all yours, and I'll just put your slides.
A very good morning to all of you. My name is Aarti Sharma. I'm an internationally certified image consultant and an executive presence coach. And today, I'm super excited to be here. First of all, thank you so much, Dr. Seth. And today I got to hear so many important things which I was absolutely clueless about. So talk about us who are digitally active and yet we have no clue about digital security. So I am that example of that layman who does everything but knows nothing. So today I'm here and thank you so much Garima and Isaka for inviting me here. And I want to start my talk by saying that we don't need to empower women. We are already empowered. We just need the world to change their perspective about our power. And today, when I can see this room, at least 50% of the men present here today, that shows me that yes, that perspective is really changing. So a big round of applause for all the men present here. Since we have men and women equally present here, and you all would agree with me that we need to complement each other. We can't be competitors. God has created us to complement each other. And having said that, I'm going to take up a topic today which is relevant to all of us equally. And this topic is called self-image. Being an image consultant, people sometimes think that image consultant is a person who would teach you how to style, how to look good. Well, that is one part of it. Another part, which is even more important, is your inner image, your self-image. That is how you see yourself. I know these are some things which you haven't heard about. How many of you have heard about image? Or what do you think an image is? Is there anybody who can tell me?
How you portray yourself.
Very well said. Very well said. And having said that, how you portray yourself, how people perceive you, and it all begins from how you see yourself first. And then only the portrayal will come. It's like how I see myself and then I will try to portray that through my outer appearance, my behavior or my communication. So let me ask you one question here. Choice is yours. Which is the biggest pandemic that has hit the human race? Anybody else? Yes. You'll be surprised that 72% of the entire world's population suffers from poor self-image and low self-esteem. And I've worked with leaders who are at the top pinnacle of their career. And you'll be surprised, even they have issues with their self-esteem and self-image. So what does that mean? Becoming successful is not just becoming successful in your professional life. Even if you are super successful, if that doesn't give you happiness, if that doesn't give you fulfillment, do you think that's success? And that all starts from how we see ourselves. So today's session is a little deeper, though I won't make it very long. In case if you have some pens and papers, that would be great for all of you. Because some of these things are, just like I didn't know nothing about cybersecurity. And it has been a boon for me to hear Dr. Seth's talk. This could be your boon. So let's move forward. And what exactly is self-image? Actually, no one is born with a self-image. See, when we were born, we had no clue who we are. And then, slowly, how people around us started telling us about ourselves, we started painting a picture of our own selves. That yes, this is who I am. So self-image actually limits our possibilities, because when we are born, we are limitless. But when somebody tells us that this is who you are, this is how a good girl should behave, this is how a good girl should dress, and then we become that, because I'm a good girl. And when I'm saying girls, the same applies to the men as well. When they are told that men don't cry, you are the head of the family, you have to make others work, and then they feel, yes, this is who I am. But tell me one thing, were we born with all this? We all are born limitless. I want you all to say, I am limitless. I want all of you to do with me. I am limitless. With your hands. With your hands. I am limitless. I am limitless. And this is what self-image does. It limits your possibilities. It puts you in boxes. And we don't even get to know when we are put in a box. Because we are grown with that box around us. So we need to push that box. Let's learn how to do that. I'm not saying that in this 20 minutes or 30 minutes of talk you'll be able to do that, but I just want this to be a starting point for that. So are you here with me?
Yes.
Are you all excited to learn this beautiful game of pushing your limits?
Yes.
Okay, so this one is for you. So we act and behave according to what has been told to us. That is the self-image. The image that people help us in creating. Then we come to another term called self-esteem. So we all have heard about this term very often. Can anybody tell me what is self-esteem? We all say we need to have high self-esteem. We all hear that? If you have a low self-esteem, you won't be successful. We have heard all this. But do we know about what self-esteem is? Tell me. Give me a few ideas. Yes, please.
How to look up to yourself in terms of, you see yourself somewhere and it's because you feel happy about yourself, so that's what.
Excellent, excellent. How you see yourself and your capabilities. How you think about your own capabilities. But the truth is that this self-esteem again is not made by ourselves. Strange.
See, our self-image was not created by our own selves. For self-esteem, we are again dependent on others. Let me give you a very small example. For example, women in the room, you are all decked up nicely, wearing that makeup and that sari and that 10 lakh jewelry set, and you are going for a wedding and with that hairstyle and all, and the moment you sit with somebody in the car and somebody says, "ये क्या लग रही है? ये क्या बन के आ गई?" वो 10 लाख का सेट, 10,000 का मेकअप और 20,000 की साड़ी भी तुम्हारे चेहरे पे फिर वो नूर नहीं ला पाएगा. क्यों? Because somebody has hit your self-esteem just by one remark. Just confidence is something else. Confidence we'll talk about later. Confidence, we all are very confident people because you all have done something great in life. If you have come here, you all are confident of your skills. Dr. Seth, and then as she told us about cyber security, all of you, these security leaders, you must be fully confident of what you do in your life. But confidence, skill set, esteem is how you feel about you. To put that board on your heart here. I want you to put your hands here. Here. Everybody. And you know what is written on this board? No entry. What is written on this board?
No entry.
Do not let anybody's stupid remarks enter your heart. No entry में जाओगे तो फाइन देना पड़ेगा. फाइन किसको देना पड़ेगा? So do सिक्योरिटी में, साइबर सिक्योरिटी में, लेकिन आजकल हमारे घरों में सिक्योरिटी बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग है. We all have those cameras, CCTV cameras and those digital entrance fingerprints, I don't know what you call them. देखो, हम कितने होशियार हैं. हम अपने घर में किसी को भी घुसने अनवांटेड को, और अपने दिल में कोई कुछ भी बोल के जाए सारा कूड़ा. So now from today onwards, when anybody says anything, a derogatory remark which you do not agree with me, which you do not agree with, what are you going to say?
No entry.
No entry. And that is your security from any negative remarks. That puts down your self-esteem. And we need people. See, we can't survive without people. And when they compliment us, when we get awards, when we get recognition, we all feel good. Isn't that so? So that increases our self-esteem. The basic human need is being recognized, being acknowledged. Isn't that so? So I'm going to give you one simple tip. We all need acknowledgement from others. We all need recognition from others for the efforts which we do, or whatever. Even if we don't do anything, if you are going for a walk and then you see your neighbor and your neighbor doesn't look at you, immediately your mind starts thinking, ये क्या सोच रहा है, पता नहीं इसको मुझसे क्या हो गया, मैंने तो ऐसे कभी कुछ नहीं किया. So the spiral goes on. So remember, the basic human need is to be recognized, to be acknowledged. So from today onwards, wherever you go and you see a human being right there, make eye contact and just smile. Your smile and eye contact is enough to raise their self-esteem. And you all understand the universal law? The more you give, the more you get. एक बार एक गुरु के 4 शिष्य थे. See, these stories are in our scriptures. And these stories are even more relevant today than they were thousands of years ago. तो 4 शिष्य थे, उन्होंने उन चारों शिष्यों को 10-10 गुलाब के फूल दिए और बोला कि तुम्हें जो भी मुस्कुराता हुआ दिखे उसको ये फूल दे देना. तो कोई तो 5 फूल वापस लाया, कोई 4 फूल वापस लाया, कोई 3 फूल वापस लाया, और एक ऐसा था जिसके सारे फूल दे दिए गए. तो सब हैरान हुए. बोला ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है, तुझको सब मुस्कुराते मिले, ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? तो वो कहता नहीं, जैसे मैंने किसी को देखा मैं मुस्कुराया और मुझे देख के वो भी मुस्कुराया और मैंने अपना फूल उनको. तो आज से हंसते रहो, मुस्कुराते रहो, क्योंकि मुस्कुराते मुस्कुराते सुलझ जाती हैं उलझने कभी कभी. And I'm just not saying it. Just do it and then you see the difference. The whole world is ready to befriend you. It's just that हम सोचते हैं वो तो नहीं मुस्कुराया तो मैं क्यों? So be the first one to smile, and that's how you are going to contribute towards increasing everybody's self-esteem, and that comes back to you 1,000-fold. So moving forward, now we all know about self-image, we know about self-esteem. Let's move forward. Now this is the most important slide. थोड़ी सी tedious है, ध्यान से सुनना. There are two boxes. On the right hand side is a box which shows the white boundary. On the left hand side also, the white boundary. The white boundary, these are our real limits. See, we all have some real limits. Though we are born limitless, but we have some real limits. And the box in the center, on the left hand side, this blue box, it showcases your self-imposed limits. The limits that I have put on myself. अब उसका भी ध्यान से समझना. जब मैं बोलती हूँ self-imposed, तो वो मैंने नहीं की. People around me, when they were helping me create my self-image, they told me this way, so I thought I am this much. Is that clear? So to have our peak performance, to have our maximum performance, what we need to do is, we need to expand our self-imposed limits to meet as close to the real limits as possible. समझ आया? So we need to expand our self-imposed limits to meet the real limits as close as possible. इसमें मैं फिर आपको एक कहानी सुनाऊंगी. तो एक बार क्या हुआ, एक छोटी सी लड़की थी, गांव में रहती थी. I hope everybody understands Hindi here. तो वो गांव में रहती थी. एक दिन उसने देखा चिड़िया को उड़ते हुए. तो उसने अपनी मम्मी से पूछा कि ये क्या है? तो मम्मी ने कहा ये तो पक्षी है और ये आकाश में उड़ते हैं. तो उसने बोला कि मुझे भी उड़ना है. तो मम्मी कहती पागल है क्या? इंसान भी कभी उड़ता है? सच है ना? So her mom told her about her real limit. इंसान उड़ नहीं सकते. Real limit? The other day, that girl saw an aeroplane, and then she asked her mother, "मम्मी ये क्या है?" तो मम्मी कहती है, "ये हवाई जहाज है. इसमें बैठ के लोग उड़ते हैं." तो वो कह रही है, "मुझे भी हवाई जहाज में उड़ना है." तो मम्मी क्या कहती है? अब मम्मी ने जो कहा, मम्मी ने उसकी सेल्फ इम्पोज्ड लिमिट बना दी. क्या कहा मम्मी ने? मम्मी कहती है पागल है. जो लोगों के पास पैसा होता है, पढ़े लिखे होते हैं, शहरों में रहते हैं, वही लोग आकाश में उड़ते हैं, एरोप्लेन में उड़ते हैं. अब मम्मी ने क्या उसे बताया वो रियल लिमिट थी? मम्मी ट्राइड टू पुट हर इन द बॉक्स कि तू तो उड़. But that girl was made up of something else. So she heard every line, started working on it. पढ़े लिखे लोग उड़ सकते हैं, पैसे वाले लोग, शहरों में रहने वाले. She started working hard. उसने बड़ी अच्छे से पढ़ाई की, फिर कॉलेज में पहुंच गई, शहर में गई, और उसके बाद उसको साइबर सिक्योरिटी में नौकरी मिल गई. और उसने अपनी पहली तनख्वाह से 2 टिकट खरीदी हवाई जहाज की, एक अपनी और एक मम्मी की. और वो दोनों ने ना सिर्फ अपनी सेल्फ इम्पोज्ड लिमिट्स को तोड़ा, बल्कि ये दिखा दिया कि we can do what we want to do. And that is called expanding your self-imposed limits. Are you all ready to expand your limits?
Yes.
Do you all think that we have some or the other limits? Is there anybody who thinks that अरे हम तो बिंदास है, अपने को तो कोई लिमिट नहीं है?
Why not call it reduce limits? Why call it expand the limit? I
So
mean, I'm
because
not here.
you can say it that way also. Reduce the limits means again you are, see, in any case we have some limits. So we are considering that. We are not trying to be superhuman. So okay, I have some limits, I understand. But then what I can do about what has been put on me without giving anybody the blame. Let me see what I can do myself. अभी घर जाके घर वालों को नहीं बोलना शुरू कर तुमने मुझको ऐसा बताया, क्योंकि they didn't know anything else. They were as clueless as we are about cyber security. Okay, so here are some of the self-imposed limits. So with a show of hand, tell me how many of you can relate with this. For example, I'm not made for maths. So कभी बचपन में मैथ्स में 1-2 बार अच्छे नंबर नहीं आए तो टैग लगा दिया, oh, she's the artist kind, she's not made for maths. और oh, she's the sporty kind, पढ़ाई लिखाई में इसका नहीं दिमाग चलता. ये क्या हुआ? Put a limit on us and then we start behaving like what we have been told. मेरी इमेज क्या बन गई? अरे ये मैथ्स में अच्छी नहीं है. So what I would do is I won't try doing maths anymore because I have accepted the fact कि मैं तो मैथ्स में अच्छी. These all are. I'm not beautiful because I'm dark. I have worked with such senior leaders who have done remarkable changes in their industry and they still feel conscious about their skin color. I cannot get a good job because I can't speak English. मेरी English नहीं ना अच्छी. That's why I can't reach the leadership position. Or I cannot find a good partner because I'm short, I'm fat, whatever you can put, fill in the blanks. Or no one likes me because I'm fat. With a show of hand, how many of you relate with any one or many of these? Thank you so much. And now, even if you haven't shown your hand, there are certain limits we are not even aware of. We are not even aware of. Because we think that is me. So this exercise will help you figure out that and then work towards overcoming those limits. Are you all ready to do the exercise?
Yes.
थोड़ी मेहनत करोगे?
Yes.
किस पे करनी है?
Good.
खुद पे करनी है. So this shows our limiting beliefs. So what are limiting beliefs? These are the beliefs that have been fed into our mind since our childhood. And at that time, people who did this, they were also unaware what they are doing. And now, since so many of us are parents here and team leaders, it is your responsibility that you pay attention to what you are communicating. Because you never know, your one sentence can create a limit that the other person will not be able to overcome even in their 40s. Even in their 40s and 50s, people still believe because of their limits that have been put into their mind through a single sentence. So be very mindful of what you are saying. Do not tell anybody you can't do this. Do not tell anybody you are not good at this. Reframe. You need to work on this. A particular skill. You need to work harder on this. You can do it if you take 1 to 3 steps. Is that clear? So what are we going to do? Limiting belief is a state of mind or belief about ourselves that restricts us in some way. Like we gave that example, I'm not good at maths. So by saying so, I restricted myself into an image where I'm not good at maths. Now what do we have to do? And then we tell those limiting beliefs to ourselves multiple times. Somebody tells you something once, जैसे किसी ने आपको वही वाला एग्जाम्पल अपना बोले ये क्या लग रही है, ये कलर नहीं जच रहा, उसने तो एक बार बोला, उसके बाद बोल के वो तो आइसक्रीम खाएगा बाहर जाके, और तुम इसी बात को दिमाग में कितनी बार रिपीट करोगे और उसके बाद फोन करके भी बताओगे किसको, अपनी फ्रेंड को, मम्मी को, बहन को, and whatever. And then what you have done, you have actually put that in your roots. You have, और 10 साल बाद भी तुमको वो दिखेगा ना, तो तुम्हारे दिमाग में वही आ जाएगा, इसने ना मुझको ऐसा बोला था. And if we ask you that what did your boss tell you yesterday, these 3 things, oh I just forgot. पर 10 साल पहले कही हुई वो बात तुम्हारे कौन से फोल्डर में चली गई जो अब तुम भी डिलीट नहीं कर पा रहे हो. सो उसके लिए क्या करना है, हमारे पास कौन सा बोर्ड है हमारे पास, लेकिन अभी जो ऑलरेडी हो चुके हैं उनका क्या करना है वो अभी देखते हैं. सो यू हैव टू टेक ओनरशिप ऑफ योर थॉट्स एंड इमोशंस. And you have to believe that you are capable of doing whatever you want, whatever is your goal. That could be a small goal or a big one. Okay. So let's do one thing. If you have a pen and paper, you can do it here. Do it roughly. And when you go home, give yourself half an hour. Have an appointment with yourself for half an hour and do this exercise really properly. How many of you are ready to give yourself half an hour? Thank you so much. So first is write the story about the area of life that is not working out as you want. You know, could be one small area of life. For example, I want to reduce 5 kgs of my weight. How many of us want to reduce 5 kgs? We all. कितना भी वेट हो, 5 किलो कम होने की गुंजाइश तो हो सकती है. Okay, even let's think that, and it is applicable to any aspect of your life. I'm making it simpler because this is something we all can relate with. Then write the story. Why is it not? This is not happening. For example, I write, I'm not able to reduce 5 kgs of weight. Then the reason I don't have what I want in this area. Now let's start writing the reasons why I'm not able to achieve that. Now then write 1, 2, 3, 4. As many reasons as you want. For example, I would write, I don't have time for exercise. कौन कौन agree कर रहा है? Okay. Second, I have such a sweet tooth. मिठाई तो मैं बिल्कुल नहीं छोड़ सकती. Third, I'm giving you more options. This is our self-talk. And by doing that, we are putting limits. We are fixating the limits that have already been put. हमें कौन सा मॉडलिंग करनी है? ठीक है. Fourth, घर का काम भी तो करना होता है. जॉब भी करेंगे, घर का काम भी करेंगे, अब फिर जिम भी मैं ही जाऊंगी. Very good one. Very good one. सर ने बहुत बढ़िया बोला. शादी तो हो ही गई है, चलो. Now, write down these reasons and now take those reasons in which you seem to be complaining or making excuses and put them on the other side of the paper. For example, when I say I don't have time, do you think we don't have time? Perfect. We all have 24 hours. But how we use those 24 hours depends on our priorities. So if weight reduction is my priority, I can easily take out half an hour. I remember listening to Indra Nooyi. We all know Indra Nooyi, PepsiCo CEO. And she said in those times there was no internet. And every time in her consulting career, the rule was that every time they will get a new industry. And to learn about that industry, she said my mornings 7 to 9 a.m. in the morning were reserved to take lessons from that industry leader that I was supposed to consult. And she would find that person, take tuitions from her. At what time? 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. इंटरनेट पे गूगल या चैट जीपीटी से पूछ के इंफॉर्मेशन, आज तो हमारे पास सब कुछ है, फिर भी हमारे पास क्या नहीं है? अभी है ना, अचानक से आ गया टाइम. So let's utilize it. So wherever you feel that you are complaining, put them on the other side. And these are your limiting beliefs. Wherever you seem to complain or seem to make excuses, these are your limiting beliefs, and you can apply it to any aspect of your life. Whether it is your personal relationships, whether it is your being stuck in a particular level in your career, or anything. Are you all ready to do it? I know it's a deep exercise, it will take hours to do it, but if you decide, you just need 30 minutes to do it. So at least that will be a starting point. Now next, ask yourself. We all are logical creatures. We all work on logic. Ask yourselves, are these really true? The statements that you have written, are these really true? Then ask yourself, find out evidences. Just like we do our professional work, we take all the pros and cons. Find out evidences where these are true and find out evidences where they are untrue. Because there could be both. There could be both. You might not have time on a weekday, but you might be having time on the weekend. I'm just giving you one example. And then consequences of that belief. Because of that belief, what are the consequences that you're facing? If you are okay with those, then fine, don't do anything else. But if you are not okay with that, then replace your limiting beliefs with a more empowering and positive statement. For example, when I say that I don't have time to go to the gym, then I change that by saying I can start by going for a 20 minutes walk. That is how you change your self-talk. That is how we change our. लेकिन ये सब talk में नहीं होगा. Have you ever submitted any project report or any important project without making a document, without creating a written plan? This building where we are sitting right now, beautiful building. Before this building was being constructed, there was something that was made by the architects. What do we call that? Blueprint. एक झोपड़ी बनाने के लिए ब्लूप्रिंट की जरूरत तो नहीं होती, पर एक बिल्डिंग बनानी हो तो think about your life. Did you ever try to create a blueprint of the life that you want? Your parents told you, let's do engineering, we did that. Your friends told you, let's get into cyber security, you did that. Have you ever taken out time for yourself to sit with the person who matters to you the most? And who's this person? Who's this person? And ask this person, what do you want? Do you have a plan? Do you want something? How would you go ahead? Which way to take? और कि शर्मा जी का बेटा ने engineering की है तो फिर मैंने भी. So I'm not telling you that you have whatever you have done is wrong. You have done exactly what was meant for you. But from here, you cannot blame anyone. Now it is whose responsibility? And then, how much time is left? Okay. Okay, so these are the steps. So after changing your limiting beliefs with the more empowered statements, I want you to go through all these steps. I'll quickly tell you these steps because it takes a full day to actually do it. First is visualize yourself achieving the goals that you have already written for yourself. For example, I would visualize myself wearing those very fitted clothes which a girl going to the gym would wear, or anybody, and eating all those healthy things and saying no to pastries. Visualize all that. Then positive affirmations. Whenever your mind says, I can't do it, I have a sweet tooth, I don't have time, cut it and say something positive. I can at least go for a 20 minutes walk. You have to reply back to your mind. That is called avoid negative programming from the past. Because the easiest thing is that your mind would tell you what it has been telling since early days. तुझसे ना हो पाएगा. उसकी जगह क्या बोलना है? एक स्टेप लेते हैं, even if that's a small step. So even your mind, nobody else is your enemy. Your own mind is your enemy that tells you that you cannot do it. This is too hard. So when the mind says this is too hard, say, I'll take one step and it will become easy. It was never easy. You do it and then it becomes easy. Then letting go. This is very important. Whatever has been told to you in the past, don't blame them. They didn't know anything better. Just let go. I want you all to hold your hand like this. Tight. Tighter. Your face should be red. Or now leave it open. What feels better? And now your hand is ready to receive something new. But when will it happen? When you let go of your past beliefs. Whatever anybody said to you 10 years ago, whatever your teachers told you, you are not good enough, whatever your spouse tells you, whatever your children tell you, or whatever the social media makes you believe, just let it go. And then only you will be ready to receive new gifts. So letting go is very important because your mind gets into the spiral, इनके कारण हुआ है, and that stops you from taking the right action. Then create proximity to success, very important. We are some total of 5 people we hang out with. Change your reference group. Stay with people, the kind of people you want to associate with. And finally, appreciate yourself. You don't need others to give you stars. We can do that too. We all have been doing quite good. So I have one very interesting activity for you, and this is it. Take a screenshot and do this activity. Write, just not say. Write. Remember, no big project becomes successful without a written report. This is the project called your life. And you need to create a blueprint. Start with this activity. 3 things I like about my character. Who's going to tell me 3 things I'm good at? 3 things I like about my body. That could be as small as my big eyelashes, my hair. 3 things I'm grateful for. My education, my good friend circle. Who's going to tell me 3 good things from this list? Who's going to tell me? With a show of hands. अरे कोई भी grateful नहीं है. Please sir.
Any one of them?
Any one of them?
Things I like about my body.
Yes sir.
Slim and trim.
क्या बात है?
Looking nice and young.
Great.
With grey hair.
Wonderful. Big round of applause for sir. Yes, women in the room. Who's going to take this up? Nobody is grateful for anything. Yes, please. Lady in the green.
So I'm grateful about my upbringing, a wonderful family, and God's grace.
Big round of applause for ma'am. What's his name? Big round of applause for Anuradha. Big round of applause. Okay, who's going to take up another one? 3 compliments that others have said to me. Who's going to tell me that? People compliment you for some good things that you do? What? Yes, sir.
Compliment from other side. When I completed the ethics project, then compliment given to me. This is now a digital transformer for ISM. And another recently we have completed our hackathon. And there she also complimented that hackathon finished. Now you are the leader for
Great.
it.
Excellent.
And one of our project was in Mumbai. That time I was said that he is now a digital
Transformer.
transformer.
So what's your name?
Myself, Rakesh Murthy.
Rakesh. Big round of applause for Rakesh. Yes, sir. Please there.
So the last one, I just compliment about myself. So actually last year I just started my GRC leadership and learning skill. So that I cleared my CFE, then CISA, then ISO 27001, and recently I cleared my CIA challenge exam. So everyone compliment me about my the particular GRC learning skill.
Big round, sir. What's your name?
Shakti.
Big round of applause for Shakti. Women, I want more women participation. I want every woman to get up and tell me something good about themselves. 3 things I'm good at. 3 things. 3 people I'm grateful for. 3 things I'm proud of. Women in the room. Tell me.
Yeah, I'm grateful to my parents.
Yes.
And I have dental parents.
Hello.
I have
Hello.
excellent.
Excellent.
I myself is good or positive means everybody faces setbacks, but it's like how well you come out of it means resilience. Same as
Great.
how will you come back?
What's your name?
Preeti.
Big round of applause for resilient Preeti. And this document, I want you to make and put it on your table in front of you. Make it your lock screen background. Keep reminding yourself what you are good at, because there's an entire world who reminds you of your mistakes and faults. There should be somebody who takes the responsibility of applauding for yourself, and that person is you. And with that, I would wrap up today's session, and I would love all of you to scan this. This is my LinkedIn profile. I have a beautiful community on LinkedIn with more than 80,000 organic followers. I keep putting very good content on how to move forward in your professional life, and of course, that is always linked with our personal life. And with that, I would wrap up my session. My name is Aarti Sharma, and I am super grateful to Garima and the team for having invited me here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. If you can stay back. So, it's an honor to have you here, and I think everybody enjoyed the session, and I could see that people were able to relate that what you were talking about. But absolutely wonderful. We have a small gift for you. So. Sir?
Yeah, I had heard her before, and I felt that we must have her over here. And I asked Garima, why don't you interact with her and make sure that she can come. And I'm really thankful to you, Aarti, for coming over.
Thank you so much, Rajiv, for this amazing opportunity. And I would just say that one simple thing, that give yourself the love which you freely give to others. Thank you so much.
Absolutely wonderful. So with these two powerful sessions we had from Karnika ma'am and Aarti, so let's have some tea, refresh ourselves.
So let's break for tea, and then we'll come back and have the AI session.
Yes.
Which will be another powerful session. So after two very good powerful sessions, let's break for tea and then come back more energized.